The tranquil koi pond just isn't big enough for the both of us. Only one lotus plant can tactically strangle out the competition and thrive. Hey guys, and welcome to Tantrum House Studio 3. I'm Will Meadows.
And I'm Sara Meadows, and today we're looking at Thrive by Adam's Apple Games.
It's a two-player abstract strategy game that has us in a koi pond, floating our lotus flowers out, attempting to attack each other. Now we're obviously looking at a prototype version of the game, so all these components could change, but let's jump in and see how it's played.
To set up the game, lay out the main board and give each player their lotus flowers.
Players will stack their lotuses along their edge of the board with a single petal in the center of each flower. A second petal is added in front of the first, and then you're ready to begin.
On their turn, players will first move one of their lotus flowers, and then they will place two pegs in any of their lotus flowers.
Players can only move their flowers in the game based on the placement of the pegs in each flower.
So for example, this flower can only move to these two spaces.
And this flower can move into any of the spaces around it.
If a player is able to land on his opponent's flower, he overtakes it and removes it from the board.
If you're able to reduce your opponent to just one piece, you win.
Or, if one player is able to entirely fill up their flower with petals, he wins.
So as I mentioned, we're only looking at prototype components for this game. These are obviously 3D printed flowers, and the playmat that we have is a fabric one. I don't know what the final pieces will be in the real game, but regardless of all that, the gameplay in this one is actually pretty interesting.
Yeah, it's got a little bit of that checkers feel only because you're only moving one piece at a time on a grid. But I think there's a whole lot more depth in this because you get to choose where to place those pegs so you can move each piece a little differently on your turn.
Yeah, the interesting thing about the game is that you do have to move one piece every time. It's really tempting to want to like build up your movement abilities by plugging in those pegs, but you do have to move a piece every single time, and so you're pretty immediately up in each other's faces, ready to hop on each other, even if your guy can only move forward and one to the left.
The artwork I love the artwork for this one. It's very tranquil looking. I'm interested to see what those final components will be since we do have a prototype. And it's something that has an easy rule set, so gamers and non-gamers alike can jump in and play this one. But then there's a lot of thinking and anticipating what the other player is going to do.
Yeah, we've played this a couple times, and I'm interested in playing it more because I feel like there are a number of different strategies that you could take to it. As you get out onto the board, you pretty quickly, like I said, are eliminating other pieces from the board. You just can't avoid it. And usually the games that we've played, you kind of get down to this crunch where you, at first it feels a little bit like stalemate-ish, is that a word? Mm-hmm. Because you each kind of like have two pieces left, and you're trying to figure out like, okay, do I try to max out and get as many pegs on this one piece as I can, as fast as I can, or can I plan out in advance like the five spaces that I need to move in order to be able to corner that other guy and get him off the board?
If this sounds like something you're interested in, go ahead and check out their Kickstarter from Adam's Apple Games, and then be sure to check out the other videos from Tantrum House.
Could you hear the vibrating of my phone?
I could not actually.
Oh, that's good. We got it all!
Okay.